All right, we are back meeting the candidates, Parish Council here in Terrebonne Parish, District 1. And we have another candidate. Let's show him now if we can. And of course, his name is Ralph Singleton. Good to have you, Ralph.
Thank you for having me.
All right, of course, we've been joking prior. You're the nephew of Roosevelt Thomas, who served many times in the community, right?
Yeah, yes, I am. Yes,
All
sir.
right, yeah. I go back a long way with Roosevelt. Don't ever let him tell you he shot that baby hook over me.
And don't let him tell you he caught more fish than me either. I want you to remind him of that too.
Good. It's all right to have fun. All right, Ro, we got you in there. Why are you running?
So why am I running, man? Because, I've always been a giver. It's like second nature to me, and I always like to help others. And, that's what makes me feel comfortable. And I love to see the joy on somebody's face if I can, help something in their lives.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about your schooling. Where'd you go to schooling? Because that district is sort of big.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you go to school, and tell the audience a little bit about you?
So, I went to high school at Ellen DeMoray High School. I went to Oakland Junior High. Then after high school, I went to University of Arkansas in Monticello.
All right.
So,
How was Arkansas?
It was good. It's a little different from Louisiana. It was kind of a adjustment culturally, food-wise too as well, but I made a lot of good friends there. I did a lot of hunting and fishing up there as well. And I still go up there, sometimes a few times a year to see old friends and go hunt and, communicate with all of my friends up there too.
So, Ralph, well, your district has a lot of needs. What do you say is probably the top three?
Top three needs, I say, is I would say economic, crime, and the other one I say housing.
Mm-hmm.
So going in, coming into this and like deciding to do this, that's kind of things that I started looking around the district and talking to people in the district, kind of seeing what were the needs of the community, driving around myself, and I've lived in that community my whole life. So those are the things that kind of drive me to kind of do this.
I was telling Lionel, as he's also a candidate in District 1, but I said that area gets a bad rap.
Always.
And, we've been covering that area for 40 years, but the good people of that area certainly don't get as much credit as they deserve. And it seems like the bad ones always get a lot of the press, but you have a lot of the same crimes going on in other communities.
Mm-hmm.
But it always seems to hinge on that. How can you change that?
Well, change the outlook over the whole community and kind of getting the mindset of the community kind of to shift more of, hey, look, let's hold each other accountable. Let's hold everyone accountable, all walks of life, all parts of life that involved with District 1 and the east side of Houma. So that's one thing that I feel that we need to do is hold each other accountable, me accountable as well if I'm selected to be councilman, and, have a partnership with law enforcement, the businesses of that community, kind of have everybody as a collective come together and say, hey, what can we do to change the stigma of District 1 and the east side of Houma?
What made you start loving politics, or was it just the fact that you wanted to help? Let's throw politics out. What was it? You sort of grew up seeing Roosevelt.
Right.
Did you fall in love with it, seeing him?
So recently in the past years, I'll be honest with you, just people asking me, where do I live? Because after college, I moved back home. I made the choice to come back here and make this my permanent home.
And thank you for that.
Right. So, and that kind of hearing people, what they say and hearing people saying, oh, I couldn't see how you live there. I love it there. I feel comfortable there. I feel people live where they're comfortable. Me and my wife, we made a choice to buy a house in District 1, and that's where we chose to, set our foundation.
And Chief Dana Coleman was a great example. He always talked about District 1 a lot.
Right.
And he always talked about making a difference and going back and letting the youth of that area see him as a police chief, as a black man who made it, who ascended. And I think that's the whole thing. And I think it's more about positive spirit than, if you go in there with the right mindset, you could change anybody's mind. How can you change the council to be a little more nice to each other?
Well, I say everything starts I have a football background. You handle your, like you saying football, your 1/3 or your percentage or whatever. You get everybody to handle their business and we stay productive but professional. Actually, I learned that from Dana Coleman, who is a big mentor of mine. He always says, stay productive but always be professional. So I say if we be professional and kind to each other, I feel that we can all just come together as a collective because in the end, we're all trying to achieve the same goal, and that's for Terrebonne Parish.
Yeah, that's not a bad mentor to have. He's a great guy, no doubt about it.
Love him.
Yeah, he was around for a long time, and he keeps ascending, into big position.
Mm-hmm.
But as you're walking around and you're talking
Mm-hmm.
to your constituents, what are they telling you? What are you learning from walking around and actually speaking with them?
So speaking with more like the younger and the older crowds, the younger crowds, obviously, crime, the relationship with law enforcement. You always know, the youth has a stigma over them that they're uncontrollable, and the elders of the community, they want the crime down and they want the housing different, interest rates and so on and so forth. So it's very much of a collective of things but everybody's being heard, and I want to base my campaign on that, we're all in this together. So everybody's energy and everybody's minds, like we need everyone in this to keep pushing forward to a positive change.
Yeah, and you chose to come back to Houma.
Mm-hmm.
So you got back to Houma. You could have went anywhere you wanted in the country. You came back to Houma.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason for that.
Right. It's my roots, and maybe this is my reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you coming on. I know 7 minutes, like I said, flies by.
Yeah.
But congratulations on running. It takes a lot to
Thanks, sir.
get in a race and run and to sacrifice a lot. Any children?
No, sir. No, sir.
All right. So a new family, married, and getting ready. So establishing yourself in the community.
Yes, sir.
And we appreciate you coming on. And
Thank you.
you. And congratulations for getting it. And I'm sure we'll talk later. All right, there you have it. Ralph Singleton here. He's another candidate for District 1 here in Terrebonne Parish. We'll be back with a lot more right here on Bayou Time. Don't go away.